Welcome back. This is John Shulman. This is episode number 2 for 720 and 720. And by the way, 720 and 720 means 720 seconds, which is 12 minutes of a different idea a couple times a week. And but we're gonna kind of continue. Last episode we really talked about some preseason tips to winning games early. This is going to be winning tips. Winning tips for coaches and players for basketball as I'm watching games and things that as a head Division I coach for 9 years that were important to me, that were kind of unique to us as I learned from my mentors, Jeff Lebo and Alan LaForce at East Tennessee State and Richard Johnson. Just a couple ideas. We're really going to start with, and it's fun to watch this, and really kind of Davidson made a living out of this with Steph Curry. Got an opportunity to coach against him for 3 years. I helped him get that NBA deal, and he helped me become on a podcast instead of coaching. But offensive rebounds. You know, talking to your team about when you get an offensive rebound, what does that mean? We had a rule, and Davidson had that same rule. Offensive rebounds, if you're able to get that thing off the glass and go score the ball, then go score it. But just because you get an offensive rebound doesn't give you exclusive right to go score the ball, and you can throw up anything you want to. So what we talked about doing is if you get an offensive rebound, go score the ball. If you can, immediate. If you can't, you got to get it out of your hands immediately. That's the hardest time for somebody else to pick up a shooter. So we talked about offensive rebound. If you can't score the ball, pop it, get it outside the 3, pop it, and one more, and you'll get whatever 3 that you want. And it's a great way to go get an extra, you know, these are little tidbits right here. It's a great way to get an extra shot, to get an open 3. Get it off the glass, either score the ball or pop it, and you will get whatever you want offensively. Curry, that was the best time. If he ever missed, and I think he missed 3 times in college, but if he ever missed or anyone missed offense rebound, they would look for him immediately. They didn't pop it. They just popped it to Curry, and you had to guard him off an offensive rebound. So just a little thing. I think well-coached teams take care of everything. We talked about last session episode was special situations. This is another special situation, getting a ball off of the glass offensively and what to do. We did talk a little bit. The second point today is what to do off a free throw offensively. Carolina used to, when the block was lower on the foul line, when they allowed you to occupy that first block, they would try to tip out, and they put an offensive guy behind the free throw shooter, and they would tip out. What we try to do when they moved everything kind of up, what we try to do is we try to either cross or spin. So get your offensive player away from the low guy in the lane, between the hash marks, and make sure that he's taking his first step out to the middle of the lane and then cross. And we had a guy, we called it at the foul line, and he pointed or he just looked at his teammate across the lane and said, "I'm going to go first." And we had a little signal, and then we would cross. The more you can make the other team have to play, never have a possession on the court where you're not having something to do, whether it be on a foul line, a defensive foul line situation, an offensive foul line situation, under OB, side OB. Always have something going on where you can have an advantage. Those are, once again, special situations. Ball screen defense. When I was with Jeff Lebo at Tennessee Tech, we doubled ball screens, we hard hedged ball screens, we soft hedged ball screens, we switched ball screens, we would squeeze and go under ball screens. There is 1,000 ways to skin a cat, 1,000 ways to guard a ball screen. I didn't know if I liked that. Let's get good at one thing. So you can get good at one thing, or you can get decent at a variety of things. The nice thing about doing multiple things defensively on a ball screen situation is that the guy coming off the ball screen never is comfortable. He's always having a tough time figuring out, are you going to double it? Are you going to hard hedge it? Are you going to switch it? So I think you can do a variety of different things. I will tell you this, learned it really at the academy was really a great point. Seth Greenberg, high school coaches will watch an NBA and will listen to NBA guys trying to run people off the three-point line. High school coaches, you're playing against high school players. And college coaches, you're playing against college players. And just because Brad Stevens is doing this doesn't mean that it's right for you in a high school situation. You don't have, high school coaches don't have 73 practices to get ready for that first game as a college coach does. And high school coaches don't have professionals out there that know how to blue or ice on a ball screen on a side pick and roll and then X out and what coverage you have. High school, you may be better off in just switching a ball screen. I don't think mismatches beat you. Open shots do beat you. And so if you just wanted to switch a ball screen, just switch it. And I really don't think mismatches, whether it be a big on a little or a little on a big, are going to hurt you. I think open shots hurt you. So think about that. Think about switching of a ball screen. I didn't like it when people switched us. It kind of took our advantage away from us, and it took our energy away from us if you switched our ball screen. So just a thought there. Next thought is, are you trapping? Are you pressing? Are you playing a 1-3-1? Are you playing the same D over and over and over again? What we tried to do in my career as a coach, and I coached for 32 years, 8 in high school and 24 in college, is to come out of a timeout, throw a different defense out there. Whether it be a scramble series where you're trapping off the first pass out of man-to-man, whether it be you're trapping off the dribble out of man-to-man, or whether it be you come out in a 1-3-1 and you're trapping, or a 1-2-2 in the half court and you're trapping, throwing different things out there to change some Ds, to change the speed of the game, and to do some different things to kind of, I heard Jimmy Dykes talk about it, to muck up the game a little bit, to make it a little ratty. Don't let people get comfortable playing against your defense, even if your defense is the best. People will figure out how to play against your D. So change up your Ds if you can. Have something you can go to. Throw a diamond in one or a triangle in two out there. Just doing something a little bit different. Here's a thought about it the other day, and I watch a bunch of college ball, NBA ball, and high school basketball because my oldest son is still playing high school basketball. I see a lot of illegal screens set on ball screens, on just simple of a pin down. Urgency to screen, patience to receive it. Urgency, sprint to ball screen, sprint to go screen away or down screen, sprint to go screen, but have patience to receive it. One, as a ball screen, have patience to receive a ball screen so you're not setting up your big to go get an illegal screen. Patience is to come off a down screen so you have time to read on exactly, do you want to curl it if he follows? Do you want to pop it if he gets caught in the screen? Do you want to flare it if he comes over the top of it? But patience to receive it. Here's a thought I think about. I was talking to a coach yesterday. What is your it was a Division I associate head coach, and I was talking to him, and he was talking about what Ds they were playing, and he said we've been a zone team, and I said, well, if I watch your team play for 5 minutes, I should know your identity of your team, whether it be a zone team, a man team, whether you play extremely hard, whether you shoot a bunch of threes, whether you want to play slow. It doesn't really matter. But really what matters is your team has to have an identity. So I want you to think about whether you're a college coach, a pro coach, a high school coach, does your team have an identity? If I was scouting your team, would I say, what about your team? Are they a pressing team? Who are you as a coach and who are you as a team? I think you have to have an idea on who you are as a team. And if you don't know who you are as a team, I promise you, your players aren't going to know. Your players have to buy into your identity, and when they do, you got a chance to be pretty good. Saw a tweet out the other day about winning and losing. and I was the king of this. I was a master at it early in my career. I was the best in the country at turning one loss into 3 losses. And that was, when I say I was the best in the country, that was a negative. It's not winning and losing, especially early in the season. It's winning or you learn. You not win or lose. You win or learn. You've got to be very careful with this. I would get so down after losses. I could turn 1 loss into 3 quickly. You've got to take that loss, and you just got to figure out, losses. When you lose a game, it's not necessarily a bad thing, especially early in the season. When you lose a game, all that does is tell you exactly where you are as a team. Why are you losing the game? Are you getting crushed on the glass? Are you fouling too much? Are you turning the ball over too much? It gives you an idea. My former assistant, Dave Conrady, who's now at Macaulay, Dave Conrady would say, "You're the fix-it coach." And I was a fix-it coach. I would want to play a game just to see what we needed to work on. So that's why scrimmages early are so important. So as you watch your game, as you play a game, and you follow the process, after the game's over, watch the daggum tape and figure out why you lost. All right, look at your stat sheet, but figure out why you lost, so you're not jumping to the ball, you're not boxing out. So winning or learning. And if you'll take that mentality, I think really you got a chance to be really good and learn from losses. Don't pound your kids. This is the best thing I've seen. Nick Saban, when he's winning big, is killing his players. When they are struggling, he is the most positive coach in America. They don't need, when you're winning, pound them. When you're losing, love them. And I think you have a better chance to have some success. Appreciate your time. Look forward to talking to you next time.